Happy Sunday to all the fans out there. Carl Coulance for the Sports Hit List by the fans and for the fans. Thank you for joining us. NFL Week 15. I know my contributors are knocking on the door to wait. Let me allow them in because I know they don't like to wait. We're going to get through the schedule today. There are some COVID restrictions that are having games played on Tuesday. So we're going to get all that. We're going to give you some predictions and let you know what's going on with the pick'ems. We got the Cowboys and the Giants, Cards and the Lions, Panthers and the Bills, Bengals and the Broncos, Falcons and the 49ers, Packers and the Ravens, Seahawks and the Rams, Saints and the Bucks, Vikings and the Bears. And that does the schedule up. Jets and the Dolphins, Texans and Jags, Titans and the Steelers, Washington football team and the Eagles.
Too much turning up, huh, Carl? You lost your voice. Too much turning up on the ground, player.
Listen, they told me to scream, so I screamed, and here I am. I mean, it is what it is. If the band tells you to scream, you scream. So I screamed a little too loud. How you guys doing?
Hey, that's what happens when you run an NBA show on a Wednesday is you lose your voice. And
not at all, sir.
Ever since you started that show, I just want to throw this out there. The NBA has been a shit show.
That's not my fault.
Ever since I had that grand opening, this is worse than the Heat back in when they got together with LeBron.
But it's not only the NBA. The NFL has had.
We're gonna play. The one thing about the NBA, Carl, they not missing no games.
Listen, the Nets played last night, and half their roster wasn't even there. And I know TK was up for that 10-day because TK told us he
I was ready.
TK the Tank Tom Kenny.
The limbering up.
TK the Tank Tom Kenny is joining us. He's not talking pro wrestling. He's not talking baseball, but he is talking some football. TK, how you doing?
Versatility, baby. Versatility.
TK,
great, man. Doing great. Thanks for having me, Carl. Always great to be here.
Mr. Ray, I was at my my Haitian gala. That's why my voice is shot, bro. I was like screaming up my lungs with that compa. You know how I do. So I'm a little shot, but I'm here.
Hey, that's all you here. That's it, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So, guys, we have some games to get through. The pick'ems, I guess the streets decided that the Tuesday games, we're going to pick them on Tuesday. So that means the Washington football and the Eagles game is played on Tuesday. The Seahawks and the Rams is played on Tuesday. So they're not making picks for those. You guys don't have to make picks for those until Tuesday. That's what the team decided to do. So you guys are cool with that?
Yeah, cool.
I mean, it don't change my pick. As long as Baker Mayfield is quarterback for the Browns, I ain't picking the Browns.
Who they play? They play the Raiders, though, don't they?
They play the Raiders.
Yeah, that's right. But
two shit shows, Ray. I know.
Right, but then we also got the Seahawks and the Rams, and then we have the Eagle and the Washington football team. So that's out there. We're a couple of weeks away from the playoffs, and I was just looking at, the playoff picture. I know you guys may think it's a little too early, but we're getting closer and closer. Just want to give the fans an idea of the playoff picture right now. The Chiefs get a bye in the AFC. In the AFC, the Titans would face the Bills. The Pats would face the Colts. Ravens would face the Chargers. In the NFC, the Packers would get the bye. The Cards would face the Washington football team. The Bucks would face the 49ers, and the Cowboys would face the Rams. Do we potentially seeing a lot of shift going into the playoffs, or is this what it's going to look like? Paul?
Yeah, I definitely think there'll be some shifting. The NFL finds a way to deliver, and I think having an extra week in the regular season we will see shifting up until the new formerly known Week 18, right? I can see major shifts happen. One of the teams that went from looking fantastic to being in trouble is the Arizona Cardinals, right? When you lose that game to the Rams, you got Dallas coming up. You got the Niners again. You got teams that are starting to get hot, and you lose your best receiver, right? Your best running back is now injured with an ankle injury, which will probably nag for the rest of the year. Mr. Fragile, aka James Conner, who's been tremendous. Arizona suddenly looks like a team that I think they'll beat Detroit today, but I don't think they get past 11 games. And then you got the unknown story to race down the stretch between the Packers and the Bucks trying to get that top seed. The coast is clear for Tampa, but we know they play against New Orleans tonight. So, there's a lot of funny stories. And in the AFC, I think the Chiefs will hold on to the 1 seed, but watch out for the Colts, as I predicted 3 weeks ago, to kind of sneak in there and get that division in that AFC South. So I could see some shifts still happening, Carl.
TK, what are your thoughts on the early playoff picture? Too early for us to start looking at it, or what are your thoughts there?
No, I never truly started looking at playoffs, especially now when you 4 games left to play. You have a kind of better idea of what these teams are, but there still are some question marks. Like you said, the Colts. I want to see what the Colts can do. They just had a big win. They're 7-6. They're the 6th seed right now. You have the Bills at 7-6, the 7th seed, and then you have the guys in the hunt. You have the Browns, the Bengals, the Denver Broncos. They're all 7-6. So you have 5 teams here right at the back end of the AFC, all 7-6. The Broncos are facing off today against the Bengals, I believe.
The Broncos and the Bengals, yeah.
Bengals, right? Yeah. Okay. So the Broncos facing the Bengals. So that's 2 7-6 teams right there competing. That's going to be a really good game. I'm really interested to see how that one bounces. It's going to be real close. Melvin Gordon and Williams also. You got kind of a 2-headed beast there with the running back situation, but they both can perform. You saw when Gordon went out that one week. Williams went off and had a great day. So if one goes down, the other's still there. Teddy Bridgewater
might be the best backfield in football, Tom.
Without a doubt. It really might be. In terms of depth, usually if you have 2 running backs, you don't have one. But Denver actually has 2 running backs. And with Teddy Bridgewater, at the helm, Mr. Consistent, really, keeping the calm over that offense, they're really looking good, Denver, here for a little bit of a late season surge if they can beat the Bengals today. So in the AFC, that's really what I'm looking for. In the NFC, like I said earlier, the Cardinals should be easy pickings today against the Detroit Lions. The Lions won their one game. They kind of did what they needed to do. So it's, like a Super Bowl coach, not a good chance they're going to repeat. But you got the Bucks 10-3, and then you got Green Bay 10-3 and Cardinals 10-3. One of those is a legit contender, and one of those is going to be a pretender. And in the last couple of weeks, they're at the top of the seed. I'd like to see who gets that number 1 seed. Is it Green Bay? Do they have that pressure on them again not to fail in the playoffs, or is it the Cardinals coming up and really having a breakthrough season, or is today their last win against the Tigers? Because it is a rough end of the road for the Cardinals.
So Ray, just to add to the other gentleman on the panel, what are your thoughts? Like, too early to look at the playoff picture? Are you comfortable with where your Cowboys are at? Could they potentially fall off the last three?
Cowboys are playing the Giants. How could you not feel comfortable? They're about to put them out the pasture.
Like I told y'all from the beginning, they're going to win the division. I knew that from the beginning. I predicted that. So I'm not worried about the Giants or anybody in that division to beat us. So we're good on that. I'll tell you this. The Buccaneers are praying that the Ravens beat the Packers today, because I feel the next 3 games, they got the Jets, the Panthers, and some bum team. If the Packers lose, they pretty much will wrap up that number 1 seed. So I think this is a big game for the Packers.
It's time for
Hey, Carl, I think you EP. Sorry, I can't even call you Carl. I got to call you Haitian EP. All right? Check this out. I think one of the questions you should have asked is, who's our hot take to miss the playoffs? If we're looking at it with the right lens, I'm happy to lead this off for you, Carl.
Thank you.
I know what you're gonna say.
Thank you.
I'm happy to lead this off for you.
Go
Carl.
right ahead, because we got to get to some picks. So go right ahead. So
the Buffalo Bills. This might be a hot take. The Buffalo Bills at 7-6 in the current 7 will miss the playoffs.
Wow.
You heard it here first.
Are you trying to start something in the streets?
I'm not.
You are. I think you are.
But let me tell you what I see, Carl. I see a Browns team at 7-6, much better defensively, can run the football. I see a Bengals team at 7-6 that should be 10-3, right? I love what I see from the Denver Broncos at 7-6, currently the 10 seed. And then don't forget, you still got the Steelers out there at 6-1 with a clean path to 9 or 10 wins, right? Without a healthy Lamar Jackson, without a Baker Mayfield. I don't even know what to call that kid. The Bills give me a concern. I think the Bills miss the playoffs. You heard it here first.
Well,
Pete Hottest in the game.
We're going to leave that cliffhanger. I'm going to pull this clip, and I'm going to go crazy all week. So I'm going to pull this clip live. But let's get to some picks. You guys were talking about the Cards and the lines. You guys said it's an easy win. So I would like to believe that everyone on the panel already went Cards. Is it safe to say we're all going Cards here?
The last time we said the Lions was an easy win, they won. So but I am going Cardinals.
Okay, so Cards.
I'm picking the Lions. I don't care who they playing.
You're not picking the Lions. Okay, let's go. let's go to another one. Let's go to Rays Cowboys. Cowboys versus Giants. Everyone on the panel has Cowboys. Are we making this a clean sweep? Paul, who you got?
Oh, I got Dallas. And Ray, the future is bright for y'all. With no nuke, Dallas could win out, bro. Y'all might be looking at a 13 and 3 or 13 and 4, I think is where you guys will land in the home seat. It's very possible for Jerry's world without a healthy DeAndre Hopkins.
It is, but
You got the Eagles, the Washington team, and the Giants. All y'all got left is the Cardinals.
That's the only team.
Y'all could win out.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, all those guys really Ezekiel Elliott, all having a great season. Dak Prescott really proving himself coming back from that injury. And as much as I just don't like the Cowboys, I gotta really respect Dak coming back. The Giants, like I said, it's time to clean house with them.
Worst
Daniel
team
Jones
in the
isn't the
division.
guy.
Listen.
Jones isn't the guy. I mean, you can look at, Peyton Manning had that rough rookie season, 28 interceptions, 71 quarterback rating. But in his third season, he was getting a 94 quarterback rating. He had more touchdowns, more yards, less attempts with those 500 more yards. I mean, Daniel Jones he's just not the guy. You could tell after 30 games. His record the past 3 years: 3-9, 5-9, 4-7. It's mediocre. That's what you're gonna get from Daniel Jones. And the Giants, all season, I'm going to watch them not be able to get their offense out of first gear. I know Jones isn't playing today, but it's going to be rough. But congratulations to the Cowboys.
You know what?
Looking like
the
your
worst
division.
thing for Giants fans is that he is hurt, because now we have to go an entire offseason with them pretending a healthy Daniel Jones is the answer in his final year before the qualifying rookie offered contract day.
Yeah.
Get rid of the guy.
Okay, so
That's
TK,
what's
you're
probably
going
going to
Cowboys.
happen. And then what you're going to have after that, you got to clean house. Gettleman,
Quarterback.
Judge, and Jones got to go.
So who's your quarterback then? Ray's asking who's your quarterback.
The streets.
Aaron
The
Rodgers.
streets call.
Okay,
Russell Wilson. Russell
Call.
Wilson.
I was ready to play for the
quarterback.
Nets last night. I'm ready to suit up for the Giants today. Give me number 5, like my man Kerry Collins. I'll be out there.
Okay. So TK, you're going Cowboys for this game, right?
Yeah, I'm going Cowboys. Shoot me.
And Ray, I know you're going Cowboys for sure.
Yeah, I'm definitely going Cowboys. The Giants just aren't good, and Dak has an 8-game winning streak on him when he plays. So I'm here.
Fair enough.
All right, so we got the Panthers versus the Bills. Everyone on the panel went Bills. Is this a clean sweep as well? We're all going Bills here.
You know what?
I'm taking I'm going with the Bills. I can't mess with the Panthers. I'm sorry. Plus, I'm 0-2 right now. I need the wins.
The name is P is the hottest in the game. That's the name today. I produced a 22-6 record, got myself back in contention, and it's with games like this. We're talking about a shell-shocked and emotionally fragile Buffalo Bills team. A Josh Allen that was in a walking boot, a running back who leads the team who doesn't even suit up on Sundays when they need him the most. We're talking a Stephon Gilmore, a Stephon Diggs, a Stephon connection. I think a physical Panthers team that will have to play one-dimensionally defensively, which is stop the pass, upsets the Buffalo Bills and sends them into the twilight zone. They'll be jumping off tables in the steel cage match for Bill Mafia. Give me the upset. Give me the Panthers.
Panthers. TK.
I mean, I'm sticking with the Bills.
I didn't check the weather. I probably should have looked at the weather in Buffalo.
They're playing in Buffalo. They're playing, in Buffalo in the weather. The Bills, they have a tendency to lose bad games and bounce back. They lost to Jacksonville 9-6. Next week, they won against the lowly Jets, I know, 45-17. But then the bad loss to the Colts, 41-15, then coming back 31-6 versus New Orleans. And then losing the game to the
it's snowing too in Buffalo. Damn.
Losing the heartbreaker to the Bucs in overtime. I think the Bills come back strong today and have a nice decisive win here in the snow in Buffalo.
Okay, we got the 49ers versus the Falcons. The entire panel went with the 49ers. TK, who you got here?
I'm going with the entire panel. I got the 49ers. Atlanta's coach said that he's looking to rest the veteran players. Cordell Patterson's not going to get as many touches. He said that he's going to give Mike Davis more touches. I just see Jimmy Garoppolo, much like Teddy Bridgewater, being a good game manager. I think he's got 17 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. So Jimmy Garoppolo will lead them to a victory.
Why Why are they resting their players? Like
he says he's not giving his veteran guys as much touches here late in the season. I don't know. They're 6-7. They should be fighting for something. But that's what the coach said. He's not giving the ball to Cordell as much.
I seen when he said it, and I'm sitting there saying to myself, they are 6-7. They are literally in a tie for the wild card seed.
Exactly.
A man comes out there on Thursday in the media and says he's going to give the young guys playing time and rest the veterans. What the hell are we competing for? All right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
They're not 2 and
3. Man.
Yeah, for that reason, I'm with you, man. Give me the Niners. Give me Debo Samuel having a big day. Shout out to George Kittle. Every pick you're gonna see has something fantasy football related. It's attached. We are in the playoffs today. I need big games from those two.
I need Kyler Murray to come through today, man. I'm praying.
You and me both, bro. We've been holding out with Kyler.
Ray, who you got, sir?
Yeah, I'm going with the 49ers, man. Shout outs to them, man. They've been battling and they're still in it. You know, I believe they're gonna get a wild card spot, man. They just keep winning. When I think they're gonna lose, they always pull it out. So I'm going with the 49ers today.
Okay, we got the 7-6 Bengals versus 7-6 Broncos. Rick went with the Bengals. Deck went with the Bengals. Manny Bengals. Peter Bengals. Chuck and Greg Broncos.
Chuck and Greg, shout out to the homies. They know what's up. Listen, I know we love the Bengals, right? We love what Joe Burrow's doing. We love those receivers. We love Joe Mixon. Special place in my heart for ISO Joe. However, there is not a team that controls the game quite like the Broncos. They literally get in the ring, punch you in the face. They're like Tyson Fury, all right? They're going to keep throwing punches. The Gypsy King. They got those two running backs. Boy, oh boy. Williams and Gordon is a tandem. Right? And now they got speed on the outside. Judy is healthy. I don't see it. I think that what they do defensively will give – they only need a couple takeaways in this game. Surtain on Chase is a matchup to see. Simmons playing over the top against Chase to prevent the deep ball. Vic Fangio will find a way to not become a victim of the 60-yard TD pass, which is the only way I feel like they only win when they go deep, when they get these mega touchdowns. So give me the Broncos. I'm going Denver. Shout out to the Broncos, man. Denver been hot.
So I take it it's the father and son duo in the Lawson house.
Yo, you know what? Cam actually was here with his fire truck. He is in gear. If he comes back this way, shooting on by, y'all gonna see Cam. He got the Broncos tee. He 5-0 with the Broncos. But the Broncos tee, he is 5-0.
Copy that. Ray, who you got, sir?
You know what? I originally did pick the Bengals, but you know that game was a toss-up.
I picked the game
in my pick. I'm going with the Broncos on this one.
Broncos.
Yeah, so give me the Broncos.
TK.
Yeah, much to what PA the Hots in the game said. I like the Broncos. I like everything. I like Judy coming back on the outside, getting healthy. We've seen the Broncos go up against good teams, bad teams. They beat the Lions, they beat the Chargers, they beat the Cowboys. They've also lost to the Chiefs and the Eagles. So, you know, but they're a fighting team. They're a scrappy team. You think back to Von Miller saying, "Oh, you know, I fell asleep. I was 4-4. Now I'm 7-3." And I think that's the kind of chip that a defense needs. And I think that's going to really help the Broncos in the long run here, push for the playoffs. And I think the Broncos will beat the Bengals. The Bengals have lost last couple of games. It's been, you know, a little bit of a struggle. So I have a feeling that the Broncos are going to take it today.
Crazy how the defense hasn't missed a beat without Von Miller.
Yeah,
crazy when you think about that. Same thing with the Pats losing Gilmore, right? Maybe J.C. Jackson was the best corner all along. We had this illusion that it was Stephon Gilmore. They showed Jackson's numbers yesterday. He's been a top 3 corner, like passer rating against him for the last 5 years. He's like everyone's best kept secret.
Winning that defensive player of the year. He still
literally he's no slouch. And he got about 15 interceptions over the last 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Man, maybe we've been brainwashed by the media. Right?
Listen, let's not. See, you guys gotta stop doing that. You know, like we stay doing that.
We've been brainwashed by the media.
The media is always the person taking the blame for everything. That's like always the media. The media doesn't tell you what to believe.
You're right, Carl. But I'm definitely
we don't tell you what to believe. Like we have
I'm
to stop
definitely
doing
giving
that.
them the blame for these
we have
COVID
to stop
numbers
doing
again,
that. We have
Carl,
to stop doing.
You see, they put the COVID tracker back on it.
I did. I showed y'all that they did.
Come
they did.
on,
Back
bro.
on CNN.
They did.
They did. That's a conversation for another day. We definitely have that conversation.
It's just at 124,000 now.
I know. It hurts. So we got the 10-3 Packers versus the 8-5 Ravens. You guys pretty much said that, this is the game that the Bucs need to watch. I guess the Bucs need to go to church and pray that the Ravens pull the upset here. So everyone on the panel is already going Packers. Paul, working with you over the last 2 years, I kind of know Spicy Paul coming out with a going against the grain. Are you taking the Ravens here or no?
I can't. You know me. My style is different. All right. You win, you lose, right? I've lost more than I've won. What can I tell you? But the DNA of the Ravens is why I wouldn't have taken this even if they was 100%. They blitz more than any team in pro football. You know who's the best quarterback probably all time, or at least is a top 3 quarterback all time against the blitz? Aaron Rodgers. He's in a class with maybe only Peyton Manning, right? And Dan Marino when it comes to passing the football against the blitz. And now they don't have a guy that can cover number 17, who is the best receiver in pro football. I just don't see it. I just don't see how you can do what the John Harbors like to do, which is send 9, bro, send 7, send 8. You might get 200 yards from Devontae Adams today. So for that, I'm going Packers, and I don't think it'll be close. But they'll put up.
TK, who you got? You agreeing with the rest of the panel going Packers?
100%. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. You look the past 3 games, over 100 yards for Adams, 4 touchdowns. He's going to keep that rolling today. Ravens are again with the injury to Lamar Jackson being on the injury list. Ravens are a kind of team that I want to see how they react the next couple of weeks, because they are 8-5, and 8-5 can turn to 8-7 real quick. So I think the Ravens really got to, they have a strong coaching tree. A guy who's been there a long time in Harbaugh, so he's got to really right the ship, and hopefully, it's not too bad. But I still think Packers pull this out.
Ray,
before you move to Ray, what Tom said is brilliant. They're 8-5 today, losing their last 2. They play the Packers. They travel to the Bengals. They host the Rams, and they host the Steelers. We could be talking about 8-9. Literally, we could be talking about them being out of the playoffs completely, and it's going to start with today's game.
And today's game is really going to tell a lot. Like you said earlier, hot take to miss the playoffs would be the Bills. Depending on how this game goes, it could be the Ravens being the hot take.
I seem to have found you a co-host to replace a certain person who's not here. Are you happy with the EP's pick to come in to filling off the bench today?
Oh, absolutely. Tom is always welcome. I mean, I remember Tom from the Mount Rushmore days. That's the last time I think I was on air with Tom, and I think we were doing baseball Mount Rushmore at that time. But absolutely, I mean, little brother out there. I don't know where he is. I don't know what he's doing, but I know he didn't show up for work today. And if you don't show up for work, he can't fuck with you, baby.
Motto, the best ability is availability.
The best
that's what they say. That is so true.
That's what they say. It is true. So are you going to make it a clean sweep here, Ray, with everybody? Everybody got the Packers.
The Packers are just to me, they're like a real contender, man. They're the best team. I think they're they're the best team in the league. They're playing well, and then with Lamar Jackson's injury, that's really going to affect the Ravens' offense. So I can't go against the Packers. So.
Listen. Being the best team in the league, we all know in the playoff time, it don't mean anything, because time and time again over the last few years, we've been very critical of Aaron Rodgers and the Packers in the playoffs. I remember the Super Bowl show, NFC Championship show last year, and we were very, very, very critical. Like, they're doing great, but I think it's a matter of what they do, and part of it is we remember the entire saga of Aaron Rodgers.
They remember taking him off the Mount Rushmore. They said A-Rod wasn't Mount Rushmore material.
No, we went through a phase in the hitless streets where to the point where
I was that guy.
Yeah, we didn't know where Aaron Rodgers was going to end up. So although they're playing great and they're the best team in the league, let's wait. And I think personally we should wait and see what happens with them in the postseason, because that whole narrative could completely change.
Of course, it's wait and see, but I'm living right now in the present, and right now they are the best.
Let me tell you my thought. The best thing that can happen to the Packers is that the Bucs get home field advantage. Let me tell you why I say that. I'm not so sure that they got home field matters at Lambeau, because we've seen A-Rod squander home field in the cold to Eli a couple times, right? Bucks last year. Like we've seen other teams kind of walk in Lambeau. Man, it's 85 degrees in Orlando today. I'm wearing a t-shirt. It's 85. If I'm
meanwhile,
A-Rod,
up here it's like 40 degrees. And
think about it. It's 19 degrees at Lambeau. I want to be in Tampa, sunny. It's 4:00 game. We're gonna be loose, bro. Like, I mean, that's where I want to be. I feel like I can win on the road.
So we got the Saints and the Bucks. Saints coming in 6-7, Bucks 10-3. Everyone on the panel went with the Bucks. Are we making it a clean sweep here? Do I waste any time?
They don't remember these last. I mean,
you going Saints?
I mean, I'm going
Ray.
Bucks.
Bucks. Okay. Ray?
Yeah, this man, and they get their division championship t-shirts today,
No Sean Payton.
TK. Bucks?
Yeah, Bucks. This is not like last year where, New Orleans and Tampa had more of a rivalry without, Jameis Winston, without Drew Brees. Yeah, no, without two, well, Drew Brees was going either way, but without Jameis Winston, Taysteville's going to do the best he can. And Kamara's healthy. That's going to be a little wrench.
Taysom
Hill. But it's Tom Brady and it's the Buccaneers. He's got Evans. He's got Godwin. He's got Fournette. He's got all the tools he needs. Just give me the Bucks.
We got the Vikings and the Bears. Entire panel went with the Vikings. Is this another, clean sweep?
Travis don't do picks. He went the. I was at Travis went with the Vikings.
Nah, Travis don't do picks. No, everybody else got the Vikings. So it seems to be a lot of clean sweeps here this week. Are we all going Vikings?
I am.
Wait. Ray,
say that again. Say that louder, Ray, for us in the audience.
Vikings all the way. I said Vikings.
Oh, I thought you said Bears. I thought you said you going Justin Fields.
TK?
Okay.
TK?
I'm right on the wagon with you guys. I'm going Vikings. Just a sensible choice.
Paul, Vikings?
Oh, for sure. Captain Kirk. Another 200-yard day for Dalvin Cook would be amazing. What I'm saying? Him and Jefferson.
Jefferson again. Yeah, I got a couple.
It don't hurt.
Listen, only help.
It don't hurt.
Okay, I'm trying to get through some of these. Let's go. We got the Jets and the Dolphins. 3-10 Jets versus 6-7 Dolphins. Everyone's going Dolphins on here. Is that another clean sweep?
Dolphins.
You know what? It is. And you know what? We got to show love and respect. Tua Tagliavolia, or however the hell you say his name. I just call him Tank. Tua. Tua has been sensational for the Dolphins. Their owner has still been calling Deshaun Watson. He still gets more calls about more cases than he does from teams being interested. Tua has somehow led this team to like 6 straight wins. Now, granted, the defense has played a huge part, but Tua has made the throws when he's needed to make the throws. And suddenly, just suddenly, we are also talking about a Dolphins team that is 1 game out of the playoffs. And they should take care of business today. So now you may be looking at a tied Bills and Dolphins team. I'm just saying, man. They play the Saints, the Titans.
Travis, man, for the trading me Waddle for Pittman. Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
you ain't gonna get Waller today, but that was a bad trade.
He traded me Waddle, Gordon for Pittman. He traded me 2 people for
Pittman. In my league, I traded Mike Davis for Pittman. That's all I gave up was Mike Davis.
Point, bro. 1 point yesterday. Got kicked out of the game.
Yeah, I didn't start Pittman in my league, but I have. I traded Mike Davis for him.
So we're all going Dolphins. That's pretty
going much Dolphins. Shout out to my bro Rick.
TK, you going Dolphins?
Yeah, I'm going Dolphins. Dolphins, they lost 7 in a row, then they won their next 5 in a row. They're 6-7. The coaching staff really, you see with winning 5 in a row, especially after losing 7, they're really working for him. Gesicki's an underrated tight end. Waddle's having a great rookie season. You got Gaskin back. You got Devontae Parker back. He was 5 for 5 against the Giants last year. Zach Wilson cannot make a short pass to save his life. Moore's out. Becton's out. Give me the Dolphins.
But I do need Michael Carter to perform like Sean Carter today. Jay-Z. I need him to do it for the New York faithful. Michael Carter Jr., my man, I'm depending on you in the flex today to take us home. COVID has injury-riddled my team. Michael Carter was available. Somebody cut him. Please, my brother, give me at least the projected number. You do your projections. I'll take care of the rest. All right.
Randy says that Travis is playing him in the fantasy playoffs first round. He gets eliminated. It's over. We got the Titans and the Steelers. We got the Titans and the Steelers. Well, everyone except for Peter went with the Titans. Peter went Steelers.
Yeah, shout out to Peter. I smoked him in fantasy basketball, by the way, last week. He was talking a lot. A hurt team smoked him, by the way. Like, he didn't have no Kyrie. He had to see CJ. He had to see D'Lo, and I smoked him in basketball. Shout out to Pete. He the homie. I'm with Pete, though. I'm going Steelers. Because Steelers be finding a way, man. They lose some games. They showed a lot of fight at the end of that Vikings game. I know they didn't pull it out. I knew they would beat the Browns last week. I'm going Steelers. Terrible towel swinging. I don't trust Ryan Tannehill with even playing Madden. All right. And for that reason, TJ Watt, Fitzpatrick, Ryan Tannehill is as marginal as they come. And I think they're going to tee off on them. I also think those receivers will get free. DJ, the dancing, Chase Claypool. Those guys are all going to eat today. But the guy I really need to score today, you never heard of. His name is Pat. He's a starting tight end for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pat from Miyamura, whoever the hell you say his name.
Yeah, I can't say that last name, man.
Get in that end zone, baby. Funny team counting on you today. Bring it home for your boy. We deliver these next 3 weeks. You're gonna see a bigger chain. That's all I'm saying. Give me the Steelers.
Ray, who you got?
I'm picking the Steelers, man. They just played that Thursday night game, so they got like 10 days rest. And usually when Ben has a good amount of rest, he'll play better than he did.
He's a senior citizen. He needs it.
Well, Ben's on his last leg, on his way out, so he might as well go out with some pride and hope.
Game, so give me the Steelers. Give me the Steelers for this one.
TK?
I was really looking forward to having the upset pick here when you said most people pick the Titans, but I am also picking the Steelers to make a clean sweep here on the live panel. The Titans coming in, they've lost to the Texans a couple weeks ago. The Patriots, they give up 300 passing yards with 2 touchdowns to Mac Jones, which, I know the Patriots are successful, but it's not like Mac Jones is really a gunslinger. And yeah, they beat the Jaguars, which they should have beat on Urban Meyer's way out the door. But the Steelers, give me the Steelers here at home. Give the rock to Najee Harris. Last 2 games, he's had 49 touches. You keep handing him the ball. You keep getting the ball in his hands. The Steelers will find a way to win. The Titans don't have their guy. He's been out for a while with Derrick Henry, but the Steelers do have their future with Harris. So give me the Steelers here in a hard-court game.
We have a question from someone in the chat. Alonzo Thompson, shout out to you, bro. He said, do you think Bud Dupree will have a great game against his former team?
Nah.
You know what's crazy?
He having a good season.
That Julio been a disaster. They haven't done it.
Let me answer Alonzo's comment. I know we like revenge games. It's a big thing. Travis is known for mentioning the revenge game, right? The left side of the offensive line is one of the strong suits for the Steelers. So I think they'll do a good job of containing Bud Dupree. The person who I think is going to go off today is Cam Hayward, right in the middle. Tennessee has been very weak at the center position and the guard position. And I think that's where Cam Hayward goes crazy today. He's going to dominate the football game. And once Foreman is kind of taken out, who I think he'll still do well for fantasy's sake because he can catch the ball, then you're talking about airing the ball out. And to Ray's point, I don't know if it's scheme. First, I thought it was scheme, right? Julio as a number 2, we couldn't see it. We didn't believe it, right? Julio, when healthy, didn't look good. He certainly didn't good when he was nicked. I'm here to tell you, nobody wants to. They don't want to believe this because we love Julio, especially the black community. Black community swears by Jesus, Julio Jones, right? I'm here to tell you he's a scheme player. I haven't seen anything from Julio Jones to make me believe without being force-fed the football 15 times that he can deliver. He is the number 1 receiver. A.J. Brown has been out. He still should have been the number 1 when A.J. was there, and he ain't. So for that reason, I cut Julio. Sorry. Cut him. I know he's still available in some places. I'll take the streets before I take Julio Jones at receiver for the Titans, especially on this game. They ain't going to use him.
All right. Well, there you have it. The Texans versus the Jags, the battle of the 2 and 11s. Manny's the only one who went with the Texans. TK.
Everybody went Jaguars.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I am gonna go. I almost went with the Texans, but then right before I kind of had a change of heart and went with the Jaguars. It is a battle of the bad teams. I all this morning I was thinking Texans because they have the stability, but you're gonna get Robinson back. He's gonna get more touches today. Marvin Jones had the big falling out with the coach. He's a really he survived Detroit, so I think he could actually have a good game today. You're gonna have Davis Mills who's been looking good. Davis Mills, he's gonna have a decent game, but I mean, I'm just looking for Trevor Lawrence. I'm looking for the guys on the Jaguars. Say, okay, Meyer's gone. Now show me something. I think this is a show me game for the Jaguars, for the guys who want to stay there for the future, for the guys who are trying to go elsewhere in the offseason. It needs to see some big showings here. So I'm just gonna go with the Jaguars just on.
So Greg is in the comments. He said the curse of Urban Meyer is dead. So I guess
Greg,
that's the narrative. That's what we're going with. I guess that's what we're doing right now.
So Greg is a college football fan. He reps the university that's about 18 minutes east from here, where I'm sitting right now, the University of Florida, right? Urban Meyer is the greatest coach in Florida history, and this man hates Urban Meyer. Like, this man has brought championships to Florida, like elite level status, the Tebows, the Chris Leaks, and he hates them. I don't get it. It ain't the curse of Urban. Here's what I will tell you. When you kick players, they kick you out, all right? They was going to let Urban rock until they found out he was kicking players. Right? They had to let him go. You can't be kicking players, bro. Like,
so that means you going Texans?
I'm going Texans, bro. Stability matters. I know the Texans can't beat anybody. That's okay. But you know what I do know? Davis Mills is going to get the ball to Brandon Cooks. Why? Because I called him and said, make sure he's the only Texan I own. Make sure number 13 gets the football.
Well, Greg said, I guess Greg is correcting you. He said he hates Urban Meyer, the NFL coach. That's what he said. Yeah,
I mean, he took it personal with James Robinson. I get it. I understand.
Yeah, that's what he said.
I get it. Yeah, I don't think it matters. I don't know. I think the situation that we're seeing in Vegas play out when they lost John Gruden is a little bit different than what we're going to see with Jacksonville today, right? An oil-welled machine, veteran leadership, the players kind of ran Vegas. We know John Gruden was the entertainment persona. He was the face, the $100 million man. But the offense doesn't skip a beat when he's not there. We've seen that with David Carr. I'm not sure. Derek Carr, sorry. No, I don't know. I got the names mixed up now. Right? One of those were terrible. The other one's really good. I'm not sure Trevor Lawrence can play turnover-free football. And the best asset that they actually have in Houston is defensive backfield. They're actually a pretty decent defensive backfield when healthy. So, yeah, James Robinson may get his, but Trevor Lawrence will blow this game. They're going to get the number one pick in the draft. That's what they're shooting for. And right now they're at number 2. I got to go Texans on the road. Who's played some competitive games this year?
Ray, who you got, sir?
And, I always notice when a team fires their coach, the next week the team wins. I'm not saying this. I don't know the numbers and everything.
It's the jinx god.
But I will go with the fact that every time a team fires their coach, the next week the team wins the game, plays 1 or 2 weeks, and then they go back to being the team. Especially with all the news about Urban Meyer, it seemed like the team just hated him. I'm gonna give the Jags. I'm picking the Jags to get this win to prove.
You going with Duval County? Okay. That's a good pick for you, baby.
Hey, I'm only here for 2 more weeks, so I might as well pick.
God bless, man. Where are you going stationed off to next? Where are you putting you?
To Georgia, Columbus, Georgia.
All right. God bless, man. Thank you for your service as always, bro. Thank you so much. We got the Raiders and the Browns. People already made picks. As I said in my opening today, people feel a certain way about making picks because games get moved. So we allow that they can switch their picks or make their picks later on. So the Ravens and the Browns, people had already made their picks. Someone had Rick had the Browns. Manny has his Raiders, of course. Declan had the Browns. Paul, you originally had the Raiders. You sticking with that?
I am. I
Okay.
just think I don't love the Raiders. It's well documented. The Raiders are jokes. All right. But you know who I also don't love? I don't love the Browns either. All right. They told us Odell was done. That wasn't true. They told us Baker was the man. That ain't true. They don't even give Kareem Hunt the football anymore. I don't know what's going on. So when I think about it, no, he's been playing. Hunt's played the last 2.
He's hurt.
I think he's hurt again now, right? When I think about it, man, who do I trust? If the game is on the line, who do I trust more? Carr or Baker? I live in Florida. 75 miles an hour was the speed limit on a turnpike. I'm taking a car every day of the week. So for that, give me Vegas. Vegas always wins, baby.
Greg went with Raiders, Peter Raiders, Chuck with the Browns. TK, do you want to make your pick, I guess, tomorrow? Or are you okay to,
No, I'm making my pick right now. I'm going to pick the Browns solely because I need them to win. I need Nick Chubb to have a big day. And I'm going to pick the Browns for that reason only, because Nick Chubb, 3.5 yards per carry last game on 17 carries. Hasn't really got to the end zone the last few games. I'm hoping he breaks it and really, with Hunt out, I'm hoping he just, carries the rock and gets me my win. So let's go Browns.
Wishful
Ray,
thinking.
So Ray, are you going to hold out your pick? You're allowed to hold out until tomorrow to make your pick.
I'm gonna pick. I'm just gonna hold it for Tuesday, but I pick the Browns on this one. I just feel like they have better players. It doesn't really matter who's the quarterback, or Baker or Case. I think they're the same exact quarterback, to be honest.
They are.
And just the Raiders, it's the end of the year, and they're just doing what they've been doing the last couple seasons, regardless if Gruden was there or not. They just fall apart. So I'm taking the Browns.
Okay, so the last 2 games, and Ray said he's holding out. We got the Washington football team and the Eagles. They play Tuesday. Ray is holding out. Paul, are you holding out on that pick? You're allowed to.
I'm not.
Oh, who you got?
I told you I was giving you 14 wins this week, Carl. I didn't hesitate. I'm going Eagles in that game. Philly faithful. Tuesday, they now turn this game into a primetime night game for the Philadelphia Fanatics. Are you crazy? With a banged up Taylor Heineke? Nah, man. Jalen Hurts is back. That's what they say. Dallas Goedert is healthy. That's what they say. They get their bruiser back and Jordan Howard, who looked good in a stint. But more importantly, they have their defensive backs. So for that, give me the Eagles. I don't love their coach, but I do like what they got going on.
So, TK, you making your pick now?
Yeah, I'll make my pick now. Yeah. I mean, the Eagles, Gardner Minshew starts one game, and all of a sudden there's a quarterback controversy. I'm gonna go with the Washington Redskins, just based on that alone.
The Redskins. He reversing the clock.
They're not the Redskins, bro. They're the Washington football team. All right, you gotta get it right.
The Washington football team. I'm sorry. My apologies. The Washington football team, because of Antonio Gibson. I think Antonio Gibson gets moving here late in the season. I'm all about big, hard-hitting running back, 6'2", 220 is Antonio Gibson. You look at his last couple of games after coming back from injury. He's kind of slowly trying to churn back up the legs there. 10 attempts last time, 23 the time before. If they get him 20 plus carries and don't have to rely on the air, I think Washington can win this game. So I'm going with Washington. Because
I will say this, man, Gibson has been showing up lately. I was trying to trade him for the long.
Except for last week, he was a no-show.
Yeah,
last week he was a no-show, but 88 yards 2 weeks ago, 111 the week before that. I think he comes back here and throws the ball right into.
Okay, we got the Seahawks and the Rams. Ray is holding out. TK, who you got?
I got the Rams here. Seahawks. It's been a weird season for the Seahawks. I want to see if DK Metcalf can kind of break out of his schneid. We saw Lockett get a big game last time. Again, please, for my fantasy sake, please, DK, have a good game. But I still think the Rams win. Cooper Kupp's going to go off. Matt Stafford will have a good game. Russell Wilson's been different since coming back from that finger injury, so give me the Rams.
Paul.
Odell is playing. Stafford is playing. Henderson is playing. That's all I need to see. So is Aaron Donald. I seen enough. Rams, and they won't even be close. Give me the Rams.
All right. So before we go, I got some things to address. Just to give a side note to people who may not realize that Super Bowl weekend is Valentine's Day weekend. I don't think
that's love, baby, love.
That hasn't happened. So I want to throw that out there for our fans. Just plan early. Just giving you a heads up. Super Bowl weekend is the 13th.
Hey, I'm married, Carl.
I know you are. So am I.
There's nothing more valuable than the Super Bowl. All right.
I'm not saying that.
Valentine's, anniversary.
I'm not saying that. I'm just giving a heads up.
She gotta
Valentine's Day is
wait,
that
player.
Monday. Listen, I'm just letting you know, just take care of it beforehand, so that way it's not an issue. For those brothers who are not
you
married,
said that because now I gotta get it in motion.
you see,
I gotta
I'm
make sure I got a
thinking
dinner
I'm
and
thinking
everything ready for the
exactly,
game. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying?
So to all
My
my
man.
brothers out there who may not, be married or in serious relationships, just note that Super Bowl Sunday is Valentine's Day weekend. Just a heads up, just to go your alley, take care of that beforehand, so we won't have any issues, because we know the Super Bowl and football and Valentine's Day don't mix. Take care of your loved ones. That's all I'm going to say. And the other thing too is this new spike in COVID. I shared this in the group, and we've seen this spike because of, Manny just reported that 2 NBA games just got postponed. These 2 games got postponed till Tuesday. We're seeing a resurgence of what happened almost 2 years ago, and how it's going to affect our sports world. So, Paul, what are your thoughts with this new apparent surge of COVID? How it's being handled in the country and in the state? How it's going to affect what we do here on the Sports Hit List and talk about sports, and how it's affecting teams?
Now, I hate to give you a long answer here, but I got to give you my thoughts. This is the unfortunate part of our country, right? Where we value the American dollar more than we do the health and the livelihood of people. Under no circumstance should we still at this point see fans in games, especially in NBA arenas. Ridiculous that they're still at the NFL games, right? How dare we sit here and say, after watching 8 players on the Brooklyn Nets test positive, allow more people to get in and watch the games, maskless, drinking beer, eating nachos, right? It's almost as if, what do we value? Do we value the dollar of the tickets and everything that comes with being in a game 3D? Or do we actually truly value the product that's actually out there globally dominating the marketing world? I don't know which one they value more. So it's too loose. When we got a chance to see what the plan was, the bubble was executed very well. The NBA led the way in regards to what execution looked like, what process looked like. No other sport was able to do anything similar. No, they tried it in hockey. It was close. I think soccer, MLS tried something similar in the same landscape. We need to see more control from the people who are actually running these organizations. What's more troubling as a sports fan and also a leader, right, in my own business, we haven't heard a word from Adam Silver. We haven't heard a word from Roger Goodell. We have no idea what the plan is going forward. And this isn't just us as fans. This is us as fans of people, right? We can't afford to see athletes continue to lose their lives. And as people like me and you who go to work every day, it's even more concerning. If you live in New York, do you really shut down next week? What does that process look like? What does it look like for our kids that are in school, right? Are we actually truly prepared a year and a half in for remote learning? The survey says we still aren't. As teachers, as parents, as students, we are not prepared. In a country that has all the resources, the smartest people in the world, it's absolutely baffling that we're not prepared and we're not proactive. We need to be reactive. And that's what's unfortunate about where we live. And as these cases continue to spike, because we knew it was more variants out there. We dodged some major bullets with the previous variants. And it's unfortunate to see where we're heading going into 2022, because right now, the biggest question mark is a question mark. We have no idea what the future looks like. There's no pathway to success here.
TK, what are your thoughts? Well said, Paul. Well said. TK, what are your thoughts here with the spikes, how it affects sports, how it affects, again, basically what we do here on the Sports List on a daily basis. And we're seeing a lot of players across the NFL and the NBA missing games because of the current spike. And again, different states will have different laws and regulations. What are your thoughts?
I thought Paul covered everything very eloquently and pretty much touched upon everything. So yeah, I'll just reiterate some of it. Is that either something is or it isn't? And I feel like we're starting to take half measures here with COVID and with fans and with the games. You see the Brooklyn Nets were missing almost half their roster the other night. You see the NFL having to reschedule games. Carl, the night that the Sharks played and we did that broadcast, I was looking, the Canadians had no fans in their arena for a game. So we're seeing some movement and some non-movement, but the place where we are seeing movement most is the rise in COVID cases and the rise of this variant. Just like Paul said, the other variants kind of missing us. This one not so much. And it's when is the line drawn? It's been a year and a half. Like we haven't heard from the commissioners. We haven't heard from anyone. What is really the plan? So I mean, Paul really said it much better than I am right now. But what is the plan? Is this serious? Is there going to be no fans? Are you letting fans in? Some people are, some people aren't. It seems like a little bit muddied the waters, and I really would like to see some strong leadership and someone say, hey, this is what we're going to do. The NBA did a great job of that last season with the bubble, but are we going back into a bubble? Is there going to be bans for the playoff games? Are the playoff games going to be postponed? You say the Super Bowl's February 13th. It could be postponed even later, so we might not even have to worry about Valentine's Day. But first of all, and first and foremost, always needs to be the livelihood and health of people involved. And if you're not putting that first, you're losing sight of what's really important. You can't let the almighty dollar cloud that. And I think that the sports league really need to take a look and do what's best for people. So,
Carl, before you pass on over to Ray, if you don't believe the thought, you remember when they launched the bubble after we took that month off? We knew exactly what the game plan was in the event someone within the bubble was infected with COVID. We knew what the plan was.
Yep.
We knew what was going to happen. We knew the course of action. We knew where they needed to quarantine. We knew they couldn't allow family in. How could we go into this season coming off the hills of COVID, thinking we were off the hills of COVID, right? Without that game plan in place. The moment we get X amount of players, this is our plan. We have no idea what that plan is. Teams are bringing guys off the street. How does that solve the COVID problem, right? We're like, did we monitor this person before we brought them up for the G League, right? We have no idea.
Yeah.
We're still allowing people to travel state to state. I got friends in the Virgin Islands right now. I got friends in Mexico. The truth is, we're still too loose. And I hate to make this political, right? Because that's not my style.
But we have to.
But systematically, Carl, the way our system is set up, in Canada, the guy who runs Canada made the decision to shut the fan stuff down, to shut people coming in through their border. It wasn't a Winnipeg and in Toronto, none of that extracurricular stuff. We got 50 states trying to do 50 different things. I live in the state of Florida. They don't a mask. They're showing up to rallies because they don't want their kids wearing masks. You teach. You want to see students with masks, right? So, literally, you can be in one state.
I sent the student home because of that. He didn't have one. I was like, you got to go home. Yeah, legit.
It's absolutely bizarre, right? Yeah. So when you think about that, think about the strain it does on the companies trying to do the right thing. People who are in multiple state lines. So if you run a Walmart in New York and you run a Walmart in California and you run one in Florida, you're managing each company and each store differently. And it shouldn't be that way, right? Lives are being lost. We see the numbers continue to skyrocket. Here's what we do know. People who are vaccinated are still getting sick with the new variant. There won't be enough booster shots to boost you, right? So how dare we sit here and say in reality that we have it figured out? We don't. And the only thing we can do to try to figure it out is to be very, very proactive, not reactive. We need to start shutting things down and move in the right direction.
Ray, what are your thoughts here with everything going on with the, I guess, resurgence of 2020 again on the horizon?
Just like Paul and TK been saying, man, they pretty much said everything. I think the biggest issue is every state is run differently. I've been living in Florida. I think they shut it down like the first couple months when this thing happened, and ever since then, it's back to normal. I just went to Virginia for the training, and you got to have a mask pretty much everywhere you're at. I have to have my mask on everywhere. So it's just there's really just nothing in set stone for everybody to follow. I mean, I know we got the vaccine. People are taking it, and some people don't want to, which is fine. But they also have to take personal responsibility and do what they need to do to make sure that they're safe and everybody else is safe. I don't know really what to say about this. it's here, and then we just got to deal with it. At the end of the day, I don't know if having no fans at the stadium is going to solve anything. It might solve it for a little bit, but it's still not going anywhere. Like it's just something at the end of the day we have to deal with. We have things to prevent it. We know what to do to prevent it. People just have to follow it. And honestly, that's the thought. I don't know how it's going to change. I really don't. You can't make people do a lot of things.
Well, you know what? Here are my thoughts on this thing, and I've been struggling with this for a while because I've had personal family members who have passed away from COVID, and having to deal with this the last 2 years has been really, really, really difficult. And for the simple fact that I honestly think, and people in the hitless streets will say this, that the hitless we helped each other get through this whole entire mess for the last 2 years and still going through it. So my biggest issue is the inconsistencies, and I've been saying this since day one. I don't have a problem wearing a mask. I'm fully vaccinated. I'll get the booster shot. I don't have a problem listening to the rules. Whatever you need me to do, you tell me these are the rules, I will listen. I have no problem. My problem are with the inconsistencies. I literally went to Roosevelt Field Mall with my friend this past weekend. We walked all across the mall, and no stores asked us to wear a mask. We walk in and we say, can we wear a mask? No. I walked into Build-A-Bear to get a Build-A-Bear for my godchild, and the lady said, you have to have a mask on. So how is it that I'm at the mall, I go through all these other stores, and everybody tells me I need to put my mask on? And I don't need to wear my mask, but then the one store tells me I need to put it on. I walk into my Starbucks, and you see some people wearing masks, some people not wearing masks. And then now you have Radio City Music Hall shut down their Christmas spectacular for a couple of days. But then the Brooklyn Nets are going to have games, and Madison Square Garden is going to have games that have people in there.
Canceled the Rockettes, right?
They did. So then to me, it's like the inconsistencies are the problem. So it's like nothing is consistent across the board. And I get it. Every state is governed in their own separate way, which is fine. But we need a level of consistency to get this thing under control. Again, I'm no politician. I'm no scientist. I'm just thinking logically. Logically, it doesn't make sense that I can cross state borders and not be able to wear my mask, but then other places I have to have my mask, or better yet, some places now are checking my ID.
Go a step further, Carl.
Go ahead.
In the same state, St. Francis College was not on Remsen anymore, right? But let's pretend they were still on Remsen. St. Francis College will say, you don't need to wear a mask, right? This isn't a state building, so you don't need a mask. The charter school right across the street that's charging $65,000 a year to Montessori says you need to wear a mask. Those same kids get out, they interact with each other. They go to the same pizza shop right on Montague. They go to the same Five Guys. They go to the same Starbucks. How do we solve the problem if there's a roller coaster effect of execution? This is what happens when you chance it, right? As a leader, right? If I got 20 people that work for me on my team, I can't manage 10 one way and manage the other 10 another. You got to come up with one process. And that's the unfortunate reality we're dealing with. Stores don't want you to wear a mask because in their mind, they want you to be more comfortable and free while you shop. Forget the effects of COVID while you're in the fitting room. Forget it. Doesn't matter if you cough. No one cares because in their mind, we got Christmas. We want to make sure we can drive as much revenue.
Right, but then you know what? Again, there was a Haitian event two weeks ago where a bunch of people weren't vaccinated and they had to go home, and the club wasn't letting them in because guess what? They don't want to lose their liquor license. They don't want to get shut down, so they weren't letting them in. So again, we are a sports platform and we're here and we discuss anything and everything. And I have never limited my contributors in discussing whatever's on their mind. So if people in the comments don't like this politics and sports, then just go watch somewhere else. So at the end of the day, I believe we need to just get this thing under control. And as you guys said, the commissioners need to say something because you can't have an entire team missing. You have a G League team.
Yeah.
It's not making any sense. Are we going to shut this thing down or are we not? And I get it. We want to be able to not shut the economy down because we all need to make money. We all need to make a living and all these other things. But people are still getting sick now. People are going back into the hospitals.
And I know you're rapping, right? Yeah. But I'm gonna leave you with two things. The average age of an NBA coach is like 70. What's it gonna take for a process change? Someone to die? Someone who's right in that target age of death when it comes to COVID? It's Sean Payton's like 75, the coach for the Saints that got COVID. What's it take, right? When you think about, right?
What'd you say, Ray? What'd you say, Ray? You say he had it.
And he got it again. He already.
It's his second time for COVID. and he's walking around the facility because he thought we were vaccinated, we're all good. Shout out to the medical workers out there and their process.
First responders, absolutely.
The one thing that's never changed for them was the option of wearing a mask. Now, I got small kids. You go to the doctor, whatever it is, you had to have a mask when you went in that building. That process has never changed.
Absolutely.
And shout out to them for being consistent, and shout out to them for obviously leading the way. And God bless them for continuing to make sure everybody's safe going forward, because they're the real leaders of the world. I hate to say it like that, but it's true.
Yeah. Guys, I know we're at 101, and I know we hate to be talking football or talking live while football is on air. You guys enjoy the rest of your Sundays. Our next show will be our next hit list show will be tomorrow with Smoke and Mirrors. They'll be here for 7:30. Be sure that on Tuesdays, the Fan Zone on the court. On Wednesdays, we got a debate brewing, Paul Pierce or Carmelo Anthony on Wednesday. So pull up to that.
Yo, send me the link for that, bro. I might pull up for that.
Definitely for sure. We want to get some opinions on Paul Pierce versus Melo. I know Womack's here capping up for his guy Melo, but I'm not letting my guy Paul Pierce go down without a fight.
I mean, if Melo had Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen, no way.
Listen, he had his chance. He had his chances. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He didn't have two first ballots. He didn't have two first ballots.
Do you want me to wait now or later? Do you want me to tell you now or later?
I want to hear it right now.
I'll tell you right now.
It's a touchback. I want to hear it right now.
I'm going to go there right now. Did Melo not have his opportunity to be the third man in Miami? Yes or no? Answer my question. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
I can't tell you he had the chance to go to Miami.
He did. He took his extension. It was supposed to be Melo, Bron, and Wade. He took his extension. What are we talking about?
I know you don't do ifs.
I'm not doing ifs.
But I'm going to ask you an if question. You the EP. If Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen don't show up in Boston, is Paul Pierce better than Carmelo Anthony?
Say it again.
You heard
I'm
me.
not answering the question until Wednesday.
I'll see you on Wednesday.
Listen, I'll see you on Wednesday. I'm going to answer the question on Wednesday because, again, Paul Pierce.
When he had Antoine Walker, he was a lottery player.
Listen, that's not true because that's not true. Listen, again, we're not going to sit here and do
this. Carl in.
No, they're really. I know what he's doing. Again, we're not going to do it. Paul Pierce was a top 5 scorer in the league in the early 2000s. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that to him. All right. You guys enjoy your Sundays. Please make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. Sports Hit List is now available on Twitch. TK and I are working on a new pro wrestling show that's coming to you soon. That's called Off the Top Rope. We got a baseball show in the works. We got another football show in the works. The Hit List brand is growing. Thank you to everyone for continuing supporting the brand.
Off the Top Rope is a hard name. I got to give you credit for that one. That's a dope name.
So we got a lot of things in the works. You guys take care. Enjoy your Sundays. And I'll see you guys in the NFL chat for these pick'ems. Ray is still in the lead by a thin margin, by I think like 1 or 2 points. Make sure you keep it for that $100.
I won it by one pick last year, so it's all good.
Yes, sir. You guys enjoy. I'll talk to you guys.